He said, listen, you are overthinking. I still remember his words, and probably that line is the reason I stopped practicing real estate. I sit here on my couch in my pajamas and I make $30,000 commission, and you are now talking about inflation coming, this and that. So that is the level of either incompetence or greed out there. Guys, in real estate industry, buyers have almost always been exploited. And it's so evident in 2020 and 2021 when pandemic was on. Canadian government, the central bank, printed 40% extra currency. Just think about that for a second. 40% extra currency was added to the currency that was already in circulation. On top of that, central bank did a lot of quantitative easing where they flooded the country with very easy money. Interest rates were at like 1.5% for mortgages. So if you put all this thing together, it doesn't take a brain surgeon or a top-notch world-class economist to figure out that the inflation is bound to go through the roof. It's very simple. You have put so much money in there, so much excess of currency, which means the dollar in real terms will lose value. So when the dollar will lose value, that means you will have to put more dollars towards purchase of any commodity, which means inflation, right? So in 2021, I was a realtor myself. I've been a realtor for 23 years. After seeing what happened to consumers out there, that pride of my profession, I no longer had that. So in 2022, by December, I just did not renew my license. Basically, I retired from real estate, and I'll tell you why. But let me come to the point that I'm trying to make here. Every sensible person was supposed to know that inflation is going through the roof in the next year or 2 years. It's just a matter of time. And to control inflation, the biggest tool that the central bank has is to raise interest rates. So in 2021, 120,000 transactions happened in Ontario. 120,000 times there was an opportunity for the realtors to guide their clients in a way that, listen, don't buy. This doesn't make any sense. You are caught up in a frenzy. They had the opportunity to give that advice, but they did not. In fact, this frenzy was created by real estate companies. In October of 2021, I very distinctly remember this. A client of mine, he was a client for me like for about 10 years. He called from Brampton. He said, this is the bungalow. I have already checked the pictures. I've checked the virtual tour. I really like it. And just find out it's listed for 1.2 million in Brampton, a bungalow. I'm like, just the price itself is not making sense to me, but let me have a look. So I researched that property. It was listed for 1.2 million with an offer date. And I called the listing agent, and he mentioned that yes, we have, 15 or 16 offers already registered, and the date was the next day, so maybe it will go upwards of 20 offers. So I called him back. I said, listen, it's listed for 1.2. In my eyes, okay, it was a good bungalow. It was nicely renovated and everything. But I said, in my eyes, the price right now should not be more than 1.1. But now this FOMO is catching up everywhere. They're asking for 1.2. With these many offers, it might go to 1.4. You're not buying this. And he's like, Sharmaji, what are you saying? I'm the one who's approaching you saying that I want to buy this. It's clear commission for you. And I know when you will come, no matter how many offers are there, you will get me the bungalow. So please make the offer and come. I said, no, man, listen, you've been my client for so long. This is a losing proposition because right now there's this frenzy going on. This was October 2021. So please don't buy. The actual worth of the bungalow is not more than 1.1 at best. He listened to me, and long story short, that was sold for I think 1.4 something, a detached bungalow in Brampton. Just think about that. And now look what the prices are. In fact, 6-7 months ago, he did call again and said, listen, you saved me $300,000. And he was joking with me that I need to send you on a vacation, this and that. The bottom line is, competence is part of being a realtor. If this frenzy was created, a knowledgeable realtor is supposed to guide the clients in a proper way. In December, it was Christmas. I know this realtor, he's from my hometown. I know him for over 20 years. He's been a realtor as well. I narrated this thing to him. Now in December of 2021, again, that frenzy was going on. So I mentioned this to him, and he said, listen, you are overthinking. I still remember his words, and probably that line is the reason I stopped practicing real estate. He said, bro, you are overthinking. I sit here on my couch in my pajamas and I make $30,000 commission, and you are now talking about inflation coming, this and that. So that is the level of either incompetence or greed out there. And I'm not painting every realtor with the same brush. Sometimes I listen to John Flynn. He's a realtor in Niagara region. I haven't dealt with him because I used to work more in, Markham, Richmond Hill, Scarborough, downtown, this area. He's in Niagara Hills. But when I listen to him, what he says makes a lot of sense. He's very knowledgeable and he's saying the truth. So there are good realtors out there. I'm not painting everybody with the same brush, but they are so far in between and so few in numbers. The majority is looking at the fact that, okay, how much commission I'll make. The thing is, when you could see that inflation is going to happen, when you could see that the interest rates are going up, who is the best guide for you? That is what I'm coming to. The best guide for you is you. You have to study, you have to look around, you have to see how the economy is going. And what has happened is that TRESA, this is Trust in Real Estate Services Act, has now come up with the clear direction that you as a buyer or a seller can self-represent. You can represent yourself in a transaction. But now when as a buyer, you want to represent yourself, right? You need to know how much the property is worth. That also you can find out. There's House Sigma. You can see every property on realtor.ca that is listed for sale. On top of that, there are independent appraisals who can give you the very accurate pricing on that. There are lawyers out there who will draft the offer for you. What I've done is I've retired from real estate. I have myself formed a company with all this help for the buyers to be able to directly represent themselves. And when you represent yourself, when you're doing the hard work, you're looking at the property, you're looking at the comparables, how much they're worth, you're getting the offer drafted from the lawyer, you're presenting it to the seller, then why would you not ask seller to pay you the equivalent amount that he was supposed to pay to the commission to a buyer's agent? If you go there with your agent, he'll give commission to the buyer's agent. Now you're doing everything yourself. You can easily ask that $20,000-$30,000 to be paid to you directly by the seller, right? And now you have that right. And all the resources are out there. And the really disturbing part is that majority of the real estate industry is out there for their commission. They're not guiding you the right way. There are a few agents who are very ethical, and I salute them. But the general trend, look at what happened in 2021. 120,000 transactions happened, and I can assure you that each and every one of those buyers who bought in 2021 are not happy at all. Some of them have lost $300, $400, $500,000 depending on the price they paid, depending on the size of the property they bought. Friends, give me a call if you need any more resources to be checked out, if you need more guidance, because trust me, each and every resource is out there available to you, and the money that is paid to the buyer's agent could be paid to you as a buyer from the seller. It's very, very doable. Till we meet next time, take care.